The time's serious, got the Lord furious. We get scared, send up prayers, but he ain't hearing us. Turn to Satan, get delirious. What you better do is repent, boy, point blank, period. You got ignorant brothers killing over colors, single mothers, crabs in a barrel, they snapping at each other. Uncle Tom sleeping with the enemy under covers. Then you got needle fiends, alley cats chasing pipe dreams or whatever's handy. Coke fiends, nose gleam, do whatever for the nose candy. Man tan, Amos and Andes. Gotta be wicked to get the Grammy. Don't condemn me, just understand me. My brother's not my own foes. These fake Hollywood pimps and Deuce Bigelows. Faggot niggas on the down low. 12-year-old son and ass for the billfold. Deuteronomy 28 in the chokehold.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. What is life but a ball right? And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of our life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb, the hearses, the tomb, the judgment, heaven or hell. This is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
Speaking of fighting, I've been writing. Writing is our child born and saying quitting sin. Number 2 pistol was shoved through a tattoo pack. They say that him being neglected as a child was a sexual crime. Strange remedy nowadays. Brothers go to jail to find peace of mind. Now a cat watching me shit. Shuffling my shanks and bless my place. Describe my expression, blank, blank, domino. Black and Mexican race war. My father Geronimo carried on a string. Deputy controlling me through my hunger to live. My rod tower is short and big like Christ and a knife in it. This jailbird don't sing, this sweat, stress, and peck. My life can be summarized in yard crickets and TV set. I die in 10 and resurrect at 6 o'clock. Program these punches to move like shocks for curious inmates.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. What is life but a ball right? And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of our life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb, the hearses, the tomb, the judgment, heaven or hell. This is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
One screen on the TV screen, bring me that jealousy. Every breath I breathe, bring me that felonies. Selling me lies, intoxication that leads me. Open the demons, I see them, no one believes me. I'm getting visions, I'm wishing these would stop. I'm seeing myself shot, bleeding up in the ball. My people, they can't stand, they call me sick in the head. It's all these voices giving me all these choices. Bomb all that with noises, gunshots, and threats. It's jail time unless I rise above. Respect these crackers, confuse me, pick me up, and use me. Wicked spirits, they choose me, possess and abuse me. I wanna scream cause my life's so miserable. We live so pitiful, brothers say the end will ride on these crackers, revenge and serve cold. I'm trying to hold on what's left of my soul.
In this world of drama, karma follows me closely. We live mostly comatose and so sleep. What is life but a ball right? And every step manifests either life or death. And the effects of our life we choose is these curses, these verses. From the womb, the hearses, the tomb, the judgment, heaven or hell. This is our life, our life, our life, our life, our life.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. What's happening, family? How many of y'all feeling that, man? Make me want to holler the way they do my life. I know you all do. Deuteronomy 28, 15 down to 68 all day long, along with all the other atrocities that they do to our people, man. Found throughout the scriptures, man. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High, man. It's your brother IQAhmath, IQAhmath. First name, IQ is all the same. DSTM is where you've landed. Don't shoot the messenger. Welcome to my brothers and sisters, man. It's in the house. Hopefully everybody's doing well on the Shabbat. A little cloudy, rainy for us out here, which is a little odd. But I guess that's par for the course, man, with the world that we're living in nowadays, man. Who's in the house with me? Who is in the house with me, man? Shalak in the house, man. Shalom to you, Shalom to you, Bayan. Shalom to you, man. The Quab. Shalom to you and the family. Kohaf. Shalom to my good brother. Uziel, Malachi. Shalom to y'all up in the Northwest, man. Karatazah in the house. Shalom to you, There goes. All right. I'm glad I seen y'all on here. I've been meaning to get back at you later this week, man. I've been busy all week, and that's no excuse. But my family down there in Jacksonville, man, the house of Elkanah, man. Good to see y'all here, man. I know y'all was getting a little bit of that hurricane down there, but good to see that y'all are all safe and well. In the midst of Dollar Tree or Dollar Store, Dollar General, mass shooting Edomites popping in there, man, shooting at Jakes, man. Wild stuff going down there in Jacksonville, man. Good to see that y'all are well. Good to see that y'all are well, man. Rosemary in the house. Shalom to you, my sister. All the way from London, man. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. All praises, man. Shalom, Sister Cynthia. What's going on? From the LBC. That's right. Shalom, shalom. Well. Look at who decided to join us. Shabbat shalom. What's happening, sis? Manath in the house, man. It's been a minute. Glad you were able to catch us live. Good to have you back on. And I'm glad you wiped your feet, man. All praises, man. Shalom to you and the girls. Hopefully y'all are well. Allah died in the house. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Man, I hope so. Man. Who else? Who else is in here, man, with dirty feet, man? Let me find out. Because the door is still open. People still walking in. You can, hit the U-turn, man, about face. Get out. Come back. Come on back. Wipe them feet off. All right, all praises. Indeed. All praise to the Most High. Good, glad y'all all right. House of Byron in the house. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I would hope so. It's all good. Whether you catch us live or you catch us on the back end, it's all good. All good. As long as you catch us. No butterfingers over here, man. Everybody got to be on grip mode. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, a lot going on. Y'all already know. You see the headlines, man. Your man Putin can push the panic button. Whether or not he's going to actually execute and use it, that's a whole nother thing. Biblically, it makes sense. Biblically, why not ignite a fervent heat on the earth, as the scriptures say? But we're going to see. We're going to see. I want to start off with this, man. Some of y'all have seen it, maybe not. It's a little viral video. I'm assuming it's been, floating around our community. It ain't the first time. It ain't gonna be the last time, man. If you get some heathens that pop up, man, they want to admit the truth. They want to acknowledge their fears. They want to acknowledge the truth. They want to acknowledge the awakening of our people. They want to start trying to confess. They know who the true children of Israel are. And this particular Edomite, man, he's telling his people, man, hey, leave them, so-called black people, leave them alone. Because they're getting ready to get turned up, and payback is a BITCH. And he's like, look, they're going to come wreaking havoc on us. He's telling them, all of y'all in the cities, get up out of there, man, because the children of Yah is going to come on your heads, man. They're going to tear us up. So let me play that, man. Let's set the tone with that, and then we'll go ahead on and get with the rest of the events in our days and times. Diz the Wiz. Shalom, my sister. Shalom. Glad you made it. All right, let me find this video. Hold on. Because our people, man, they don't want to listen to the crazy so-called black and Hispanic man on YouTube and on the street corners and all that. They don't want to hear us, man. They love their oppressors so much. If it ain't coming out his crooked yellow teeth and them slits in his face that they call lips, if it doesn't come out of his mouth, maybe it's not true. So let me let our oppressor validate what we've been saying for years. Esau to the core, man. Esau to the core. Red Harry, he's coming clean. So let's let it ride.
What if you could make a couple extra $1,000 a month using one little app on your phone Well, I want to show you what it is and how to do it.
What I'm about to say is no offense.
And you notice how he does say this. Black man's about to eat the white man. Still got to, even though this is why you can't even, you know what? Hold on. I'm doing it just for Bayan because he likes when I catch myself. Just because he comes out and says a partial truth, man. And if I'm coming in all right, man, let me know. Hit a 7 in the chat for me so I can make sure everything's sounding right. Hopefully everybody's good. Shabbat Shalom, Neva. Good to see you, my sister. 7 in the chat for me, man. I'm gonna play this video. Let me make sure that the audio is coming through. I'm not checking it myself. Maybe I should. All right, 7 is looking good. I like that. All right, all praises. Good deal. All right. So let me get back over here. The ad's done. But let me share the scripture first. This is one of my favorites. We already know. Proverbs 26 and 25, right? When he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there's 7 abominations in his heart, man. It pains the so-called white man to tell the truth. It pains him to actually be honest. I mean, a virtue that should be handed down by generation to generation, man. To be honest, to be truthful, man. It kills him to have to do that. So he has to throw in a little snare and a little jab on the back end. By him acknowledging and saying that, there's going to be an uprising from the black folks, man. And he calls us the children of Yah, right? But then throws a little slander and says, they're going to eat white people. So now the holy children of the Most High are cannibals, And I don't know if that's redneck backwoods, slang for they're going to kick our $8 that, asses in the scriptures. I'm going to say it. But, I don't know if that's some redneck slang. But, but to say that black folks are going to eat white people, man. I mean, you might as well go back to the days of when they were saying we were cannibals and swinging from vines in Africa, man. And, we're out there shrinking heads and eating on each other and gnawing on everybody. We're the Walking Dead. Gnawing on people, man. But, that's the ways of the so-called white man. Likes to speak his truth, man. He's always got to throw a little backhand jab up in there, man. So let's let Esau tell the truth.
To any of my black set apart brothers at all. So don't misconstrue what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is no offense to any of my black set apart brothers at all. So don't misconstrue what I'm about to say. But if you're a white person living in a big city, the black man is about to eat you alive. They're about to chew you up and spit you out. My advice to you is if you're white in a big city, you better get out of there. You better run from your lives.
Now, notice he's still doing this as a PSA to his people, telling them to run, not to repent, not to acknowledge their iniquities, not to turn back and, rectify their offenses, not to live up to and own to the truth. Preserve yourselves, run, get out of here. Hopefully we'll be spared. No. You're not going to be spared. As he, starts off with, no offense to my black set apart brothers. And then comes back and still calls us black. And then double backs and talks about we're going to eat white folks, man, and spit them out. I mean, he's somewhat true, like I said, maybe it's redneck slang, but he starts it off by saying, don't be offended. So maybe that's what he's doing. But let him continue.
Because there's a lot of set apart black people that know the truth. In fact, probably a lot more set apart black people know the truth. In fact, I know they are than white people. But there's a few of us white people that's in on the truth, and we know that most of the black people they're not on the narrow path.
So they don't know the truth. And they're coming for vengeance. And Yah has even stirred them up a lot worse than what they normally are. Oh, Yah, the Creator's reaching there and stirred the pot. He's made them even more mad at the white people. So you better get out of the cities. You better get out of the big cities if you're white. And there's probably a few black people that might get on here and give you a warning too, because they're in the know. Payback is a bitch. You're about to find that out. A lot of the horrific things that was done to the dark-skinned people's been hidden. So those things are going to come to life because they're going to become real for the opposite race. Everything turns upside down and backwards at some point. What a time to be white, huh? Take on it. Man, I mean, you know, all people's lives, it seemed like the black people wanted to be white. There's going to come a time when the white people's going to want to become black.
Now, that's already happening. I mean, we see it through the culture, you know, the whole era of culture vultures, man, you know, the so-called white man sliding in, befriending so-called Negroes, man, paying their way into industry, utilizing our likenesses to promote their goods, paying athletes multi-millions of dollars, man, to profit off of them. You know, they envy Jace. I mean, at what other point do you? There was a video, or I think there was pictures, but at some big old yacht party, white party, ironically, some billionaire Edomite, man. At what other time would you have a billionaire Edomite inviting young black men involved in rap, i.e., a little Jake named Lil Baby, and amongst others? And there was pictures, man, of this Jake Lil Baby, man, getting fondled, hugged from behind, you know, at these weird industry parties, man. Where else would billionaires want to hang with, you know, 20-something-year-old Negroes from the hood, unless they wasn't envious? I mean, Kim Kardashian made a whole billion-dollar industry of transforming her body and her likeness to look like the body of a black woman in the face of a Hispanic woman. You know, and she's an Armenian white woman. Trying their best to culturally appropriate, wearing braids and everything else. She tried to make herself the best of both worlds, man, and guess what it did? It made her the envy of all the other women out there. She's the icon of beauty and body transfiguration and all that, man. Sisters is even out there trying to look like her, idolizing her because she, you know, managed to manipulate her way into, you know, entertainment industries and seduce men and, you know, throw the Black Widow magic on them. And before you know it, she's all over the place. Now everybody's trying to keep up with the Kardashians. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, here goes Esau. He talking about, man, payback is going to be a bitch. And, you know, the Most High stirring up the spirit of Israel. And Israel's going to be, you know, looking for vengeance on the so-called white man. When we say all of this stuff, when we talk about he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, man, you know, that we're going to take them captives who captives they were. We're going to rule over our oppressors, man. When we say all this stuff, man, we're racist. We're you know, we're missing the mark. We're not being Christian-like, you know. But when you hear from a Edomite, he says, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've done horrible atrocities. Your payback is definitely needed. It's going to happen. Only thing I can do is tell my people get the hell out of Dodge. But there's not going to be no escape at all.
Very, very, very soon. I'll guarantee you that 95, after about 2 or 3 months in hell, you're probably going to wish you was black, because the blacks are going to rule. Especially, I think, maybe the Indians. That might be some bad news for the black.
Now, knows he wanted to throw in the indigenous tribes, right? He wanted to throw in our the other Native American tribe. He was getting ready to go there. But we see here. So let the heathen tell it, man. Maybe our people will listen in. Let them go ahead on and tell it. Maybe they'll catch on. But guess what, man? So-called white man, there's no escape for you. You know, he's always going to be trying to run. Let me get that in Revelation 9. And where is that at? Somebody calling me. Look at it. Revelation 9, verse 6. It says, and in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. So, you know, so-called white man, he's going to be trying to run. He's going to try to escape his judgment. He's going to be trying to commit suicide. He's going to be trying to pop pills, jump off of buildings and roofs, slit wrists. The Most High is going to preserve them, man. There is no escaping their judgment. Bayan, that's a good precept. I was going to go there too. Most High acknowledge that, yeah, we're the weapons of war, right? Jeremiah 19, and let's read down. So what the white man is saying is absolutely true. Thus saith the Lord. They be acting like, man, we just some Negroes, man, who just rolled out of a prison cell, dropped out of school, congregating on the street corners, man, smoking weed, getting drunk, and came up with some wild prophecies out the Bible to fit a narrative of retribution, payback, oppression, and lies. Now, this is all part of the word of the Most High, man. This is all judgments of the Lord, man. If you don't want to serve the Most High, God, Yahweh, and our King, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, then you're going to die. Period. There's no wiggle room for negotiations on that. This is how the Most High deals with judgment. The portion of Jacob is not like them. That's right, because Deuteronomy 7:6 says that we are a set-apart nation, just like the white man said. We're a holy people, above all nations upon the face of the earth. It says, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Most High of hosts is his name. So the Most High is the former of all things. Israel is the rod of his inheritance. He is Yahweh, the self-existing, omnipotent power of the universe, nations, worlds, everywhere. And where is inheritance? You don't like it? Too bad. Verse 20, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So judgment is going to come by the hands of the children of Israel, man. 144,000, the elect, will have the blessing of being endowed with the spirit of the Lord to run rampant on these nations, man. Yahweh Shai is coming with the legion of angels, man. He's already going to put in his work, vesture dipped in blood. He's going to make sure that Edom pays. He's leading the charge on that, right? But we're also going to take part in it, Most High willing. Those that select, those that's being able to, endure unto the end and found themselves chosen and predestined for that office, you'll be able to take part in it. Verse 21, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. I mean, all of the weapons that the so-called white man's got, man, his tanks, his Humvees, and, all of his damn 50 cal weapons and biological war. Most I said, man, none of that is going to amount to anything when the children of Israel rise to the occasion. When the Most High put his spirit upon us, man, it's over with. There's nothing that can stop us. Verse 22, with thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. So non-discriminatory. Everybody gets it. Did they do that to us? I mean, that's the question. You know, for people to scratch in their head and say, that sounds kind of harsh, man. I don't know. I mean, women, kids, I mean, hey, do you think that they had any mercy on our women, man, when they were sitting up here bed winching them and running rampant through them, raping them, killing them, lynching them, hanging them, burning them, slicing them in half, pulling out fetuses out of the bottom? Pulling out fetuses? I mean, let's keep it real. The water by You need that video? Let me see if I can get it one more time. Hold on. I closed the window, but let me get it for you. Hold on one second. Let me get that thing back. All right, videos in the chat. You can take that link. No, it wasn't Rick Rubin's party. It was some other Edomite, man. I forgot the dude's name. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, let me share my screen. Hold on. This was the party here. And this is the Edomite right here. I forgot what his name is. He's some billionaire rich Edomite, man. But look who he wants to hang with. This dude is worth billions of dollars. But look who he's got in his circle. And what particular influence do these men have in our nation? And what type of examples are they setting? You know, this is how the puppet master utilizes these little clowns all in here. From Jay-Z to homeboy that played for the who's he play for now? He was playing for the Jazz. He plays for Cleveland now. I forgot the brother's name, man. What's that cat's name? I'm drawing a blank. I forgot his name, but y'all might know. I can't remember. Look, Yo Gotti, all these other little fake shit night looking. These are dudes, man, who are being manipulated by the so-called white man. All of them got their little cigars, man. I mean, where do they learn that behavior from, man? This isn't Israelite. When you see niggas in the hood, man, smoking cigars. Negroes got Newports and Camels all in their damn lips. They learning all this behavior from the so-called white. But that was the party, though. I can't find that. I don't know who the dude is, but anyway, that was the guy. That was the guy right there. Whatever his name is, I can't recall. But anyway, getting back to the scripture, I was sharing Jeremiah 51, and we're seeing how the Most High is judging the nations. Man, he's going to use the children of Israel, man, to be his battle axe, weapons of war, man, wreaking havoc on the earth, wreaking havoc on the nations. Why? Because they got payback. They got payback coming to them. White man knew what time it was. You know, he gets it within it. He gets it within his spirit. The only ones that are not trying to acknowledge it are the ones who are either trying to suppress it, the ones who are super prideful and saying, "Well, bring it on," or you got the other ones who's trying to play nice and rub elbows and try to be accepted, and thinking they're going to, you know, get in on the backs and the coattails of the so-called blacks and Hispanics. No. Zechariah 9, verse 13, 14. It says, "When I have bent Judah for me, fill the bowl with Ephraim, and raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as a sword of a mighty man. And Yahweh shall be seen over them, as his arrow shall go forth as a lightning, and the Most High Yahweh shall blow the trumpet and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. So judgment is going to happen to the Grecians, the so-called white man. It's going to come by the children of Judah and Ephraim, the northern and the southern kingdom, Israel collectively, coming to get vengeance upon the heathen, man. So the white man wasn't tripping. Where and how does this spirit even come from? Where and how do we know they know? Because you can see the spirit in them right now, man. They're getting more desperate. You know, you see what the Edomite man that killed the 3 Jakes in Jacksonville at the Dollar General, right after, you know, a few weeks later, after the whole Alabama WWE brawl, and Jakes was, you know, riding high. I mean, that's already become a memory. We couldn't even capitalize on that spirit, man, and really get out there, man. I heard one camp went out there the next week, you know, trying to capitalize on the spirit, man. They said that thing was dead. Nobody was out there. You know, it's almost like, man, because they just move on to the next thing, the next distraction, the next thing, the next. We can't even have a moment, a short-lived victory, a short-lived moment of clarity before they already throwing something else in our face and saying, hey, forget about that. Remember Alabama? That's going to seem like that was months ago. Because they constantly keep throwing stuff at us. Right? But look at this, Matthew 8:28. It says, and when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him 2 possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahweh Shai, thou son of the Most High? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? Well, how do these devils even know that they have a limited time? This is what I'm saying. Their spirit's in them. These demons and devils that's within these people, man, they know what time it is. And they start feeling like, oh, we're getting close to the time. Oh, we need to start acting even more crazy. We need to start seeking to gain favor with the children of Israel. The devils know what time it is. He said, man, I think you're going to come out and torment us before the time, because they know that judgment is coming. Verse 30, and there was a good way off from them and a herd of many swine feeding, so that the devils besought him, saying, if thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. So that lets you know, man, the devils, man, that damn shell, that fleshly shell that the swine has. If these devils said, man, that's a new comfortable host for us, man, they'll bid us to go over to there. That lets you know what type of spirit is in that meat. That's why the Most High said, man, leave that stuff alone. Leave that swine alone. Let me see. Something else. There's one other scripture I was looking for. Let me see. Yeah, this is a very interesting book here. 2 Ezra 13. And I want to read. Where is the scripture? But this is dealing with the nations, man, going to try to rise up against Christ. They're going to try to make war with him. It also lets you know in verse 31 that the nation's going to be fighting with each other. That's going to be the Third World War. And let me see. Hold on. I might be tripping, but I know it's here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Slack. Pull up my old trusty sword. I'm trying to remember that. It's right up in here. I know it's right under my nose. Slacky, y'all. Give me 1 second. I know it's here. Let you know that when the nations come, it says some are going to be bound. Some are going to be bound in chains. Let's see if I got it on my sword. You know what? I might have to come back to that one because I don't see it in front of me. Hold on. So do we got the little I gotta come back to it. I know it's in 2nd it was 13. I can't recall. Hold on. That's it. I'll come back and find it. I don't want to hold y'all too much longer. I got to come back and find that one. But anyway, I mean, we know that the judgment is going to happen to the so-called white man. Let me get one more revelation, a classic one that we all know. Revelation 13, 9 and 10. It says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." It's not even a question of should they, maybe. I think that might be the right thing to do. It says there's only one way to deal with justice, man. They have to be killed with the sword. Must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. You got to have great patience and great faith to believe that that is going to happen, man. A lot of times it looks bleak in the earth right now. You look at the state of affairs of our people. We're looking at seeing what's wrong, how mentally destroyed our people are, man. We're looking at the impoverished conditions that we're in, the physical shape that we're in. And we say, how in the hell are we going to fight? How are we going to get them? How are we going to kill them? How are we going to bring them into captivity? You got to really have patient faith to understand and know that the Most High is going to make good on his word, period. And if we're not prepared and we're not dealing with them same two principles of patience and faith, we won't be able to partake in that. But it said must be killed with the sword. So that's what's coming down the pipeline. That's what's going to be happening very soon. Out of the mouth of the so-called demon white man himself. Okay, let him tell it to our people. Fine? Okay. Let's get to the big news. Let's get to the big news. Okay. The time has come, man. We've been talking about it for a little while now. Putin's been flexing his muscle. He's been talking about this Satan II missile for a long time. Finally, he has put it on combat duty for the first time. I mean, this is landmark stuff that we're talking about, prophetic type stuff that we're talking about here. You're wondering how a lot of these things are coming to pass. Why? The Most High is in control of everything. And it's working on his time, his measurement, But we're seeing a time that we've never known before. Job 12:16 says, "With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver is his." The Most High is the ultimate chess player. He's the one who's out here shaking and moving, establishing pieces on the board, moving at a pace that, besides what the damn not social media, but the lamestream media is talking about. Oh, Putin is getting destroyed. Oh, he's losing the war. Oh, the NATO was out here doing this. Oh, Ukraine is losing it. I mean, it doesn't even matter. The Most High is moving every piece accordingly. The deceived and the deceiver is his. So when we're looking at this particular type of judgment and destruction, he said, man, this is the first time ever that he has assembled and put this mass destruction, a weapon of mass destruction, I should say, into combat duty. What does that mean? That means it is preparing for war. It's being prepared for possible usage. Proverbs 24:1 and 2. It says, "Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them." Verse 2, "For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief." That's the so-called white man. They said, man, this evil man Only thing his mind studies is destruction. I mean, you have to be a destroyer, man, a person who loves murder, loves torture, destruction, or whatnot, man. Because if that's all that you study, how can I blow something up? How can I make somebody's insides burn from the out? I mean, burn inside out. How can I, chop off a leg or an arm, or how can I slice a woman in half? These are things that they was doing, especially during the times of slavery and the conquering of the indigenous tribes. Having contests to see who can slice a body in half, quartering a man, tying each limb up to horses, running off. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's not even in the mind of our people are thinking, how and why would we go there? I mean, even there's a story I didn't even include it on here, man. This is why the Most High said in Deuteronomy 23. And people, especially the damn Christians and the apologists of the nations, they don't know no other scriptures. When it comes down to John 3:16, now they think they got a little bit more knowledge when they say, well, doesn't the scripture say not to abhor Edomite? No, you guys aren't supposed to hate the white man. First of all, man, then you got to acknowledge that he is Esau. If that's the case, then we're going to deal with all of his judgments in the book. And let's talk about Edom then. If it is the white man and you're agreeing to it, that's a whole nother topic. I dealt with that a month or two ago. But nonetheless, the four main characters that not characters, but nations that we're dealing with in that chapter: Moab, Ammon, the Egyptians, and Edom. Moab and Ammon is first. They're being said, Most High said, man, until their 9th and 10th generation, they can never come amongst their congregation. Why do I say that? Because they're evil men just as well. Studying destruction. There was a story, man, I think it was out of Florida as well. Moabite man went to his neighbor's door, sprayed, he had a syringe, shot the syringe underneath of their door. It was a chemical that ended up getting the neighbor's baby sick. And I believe it was a 10 tribe cat, a Northern Kingdom cat that was his neighbor. The Moabite was talking about they was making too much noise and the baby and all this other stuff, man. He goes over there and he got caught on a little Ring camera going to their door, squirting some damn toxic chemical under their door and ran away. I mean, this type of stuff that we're dealing with, these are our enemies. They're constantly thinking about studying destructive ways of how to kill us. And we too busy over here, man, vaping, getting drunk, trying to figure out how you can entrap the next Negro so you can have a hot girl summer and live off of his dollar. Too busy waiting for White Zaddy, the white man, to take care of you and all the damn babies that you done laid up with. Because you don't want to deal with them. You don't want to take care of them. You don't want to work. I mean, all of the foolishness, man, that our people are caught up in. Constantly chasing money, trying to be the next rapper, the next baller. And then every time a word of truth comes to our people's face, man, they look at you like you got 5 heads. But leave it to our enemies. These evil men, man, all they doing is studying about destruction. We know that the so-called white man said that his blessing is going to be the sword. And there's no question that he has made the most of his blessing. When you can create and establish a bomb like this, we're going to look at the stats in a minute of what it can do. Let's read Psalms 36. We'll read 3 and 4. It says, the words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He had left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. I mean, this is the ways of the so-called white man and the wicked. Devising mischief upon his bed. That's what Micah said. Micah 2 says, man, the evil, the wicked lay in their bed, man, devising all kind of mischief. And when they wake up in the morning, they go and practice it. They covet fields and take it by violence. destroy a man in his heritage. So when you're thinking about, man, how the so-called white man, I mean, America themselves, man, as much as they sit back and talk about how much they played a role in, stopping Hitler and World War II and all that other stuff, we all know they harvested all of the scientists under Operation Paperclip and said, you know what, we can use those destructive minds. We can use those things, that Oppenheimer and all that. This is all the stuff that they got. They took the most devilish minds, the most destructive minds, man, and brought them over here and said, we can use that for jet propulsion, atomic bomb creation, Lord knows whatever. I mean, they were doing radiation experiments on our people. All of this stuff. Because what? All he wants to do is think about mischief. So when we're looking at these things, man, we've seen and talked about, a number of different scriptures, man, with the judgment of the Lord, man, fervent heat that the Most High is going to bring in 2 Thessalonians. Oh no, I'm sorry, it is 2 Peter. Let's read 2 Peter 3. And we'll read 9 down to 10. It says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. That's why the white man was coming out talking about it. As many, that's why I said, man, a lot of the black folks, man, they still sleep. They don't even know. Yeah, we know that. We've been saying that. 2/3 of our people's going to get destroyed, man, because they're going to refuse to wake up out of their slumber. So as much as our people is worried about, man, oh, y'all been saying the last day. Oh, no. Oh, okay. The Lord said he's not going to be slack concerning his promise. All we have to do is continually, faithfully endure with patience. And it's going to come our way, man. Maintaining fear in the Most High, keeping the commandments. That's how we're going to reap the particular judgments that the Most High is going to lay on the earth. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. That's what he would like and desire for his people. But the stiff-necked nature of the so-called black and Hispanic man is not going to do it. Verse 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Yeah, because you know what? Everybody else is in it. They run around partying. They run around acting the fool. They shooting OnlyFans. They trying to be the next TikTok star. They want to, go viral for the most menial things. Everybody's a jackass on TV, And time is just slowly but surely passing them by, and they have no idea what's creeping up behind them. No idea. People figure, oh yeah, times are economically hard, man. I'm just but I keep getting these credit card applications in the mail. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead on and get this new card. I'll survive that way. Banks is collapsing all around the place. Manchurian candidate guys is glitching out on TV. I mean, you've got all kind of stuff going on in the earth, man. Poverty, famine, death. Earthquakes, tornadoes, typhoons, and the so-called Negro and Hispanic man is still running around with one finger in their nose and another one in their ear, saying they don't want to smell nothing, they don't want to see nothing, they don't want to hear nothing, man. Leave me alone. Let me live my best life, man. Let me bury my head in the sand like an ostrich, man. I don't want to see it. That's why the Lord said, okay, well, that day's going to come to you as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. What's that great noise going to be? A sonic boom? When the white man says he made it to the moon? No. Great noise is going to be bombs. It's going to be destruction. It's going to be, for those of us who's experienced great earthquakes. That one I remember the one in 94, there was a great boom before everything got to rocking. When you hear great noise, man, know that it's a destructive sound that the Most High is going to bring. So it says it's going to be a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So there's going to be massive burning of the earth through fervent heat. The fervent heat is thermonuclear heat coming through the ways of the warfare of the so-called white man and his weaponry, and the chariots of the Lord is going to come with fire and flames. Isaiah 66 tells us that. So let's look at this, man. Nuke alert. Putin puts a 16,000 mile per hour. Can you even fathom that? I mean, you drive down the street or drive on the highway or the freeway at 80 miles an hour, roll the window down, and feel how the wind comes in. Ride as a passenger and stick your head out there. See how fast your eyes close and how your mouth starts to shuddering and flopping around because your lips can't stay still. That's just at 80,000. You're talking 16,000 miles an hour that this bomb Putin has created and made and named after his daddy, Satan. You know what I'm saying? That's why, John 8 says he calls him the devil. But Revelation 12 says they the same. See, the white man names the bomb after his daddy. John 8:44, a year of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh the lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So the traits that the so-called white man represents comes from the devil, comes from a place of deceit, a murderer from the beginning. This is the man that declared he was going to murder his brother Jacob as soon as the mourning of Isaac was to be completed. This is a man, Cain, who killed his brother, and a mark was set upon him. A fugitive and a vagabond, man. The mark was two things. Not only was it a mark of identification, but it's a mark of judgment. Because the Most High said, nobody touching. Nobody's really touched, the so-called white man is engaged and started wars all over the place, but nobody's really taking him out. The worst damage that's been done to him is by his own. When he goes to war with himself. But amongst the nations, man, either you're going to fight them to a standstill or they're going to get in there and do what they want. Ask Afghanistan, ask Vietnam, all of them are still looking to the white man for help. Even after going to war with him for 20 years and 8 years. 10 years. They can go out and say, yeah, we fought them off. We got them up out of here. But then they double back and need treaties. They need money. They need aid. They need help. See, so here he is. He's of his father, the devil. So when he names this bomb, Satan 2, where does that spirit come from? Revelation 12 tells us this in verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and who? Satan was deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. That's not talking about some war in heaven. That's a whole nother thing. Revelation 12, we'll deal with it another time. But the point of the matter is the devil and Satan are both the same name of who the so-called white man worships and honors. And this is why he named his bomb Satan 2. Okay. So it says here, the 16,000 mile per hour doomsday nuke, dubbed Satan 2, that can sink the UK in one strike on combat duty for the first time. So they put this bomb on combat duty for the first time. That's a monumental mark. That's something that we have to pay attention to. That's something that we have to acknowledge, that if he decided that this is the first time that we're going to put this into effect in the midst of a war with Ukraine, which really he's looking at it as a war with NATO, this is why he's stepping up. This is why he's actually putting it into effect, the same way, you know what? If this is where we're going, I'm going to go ahead and flex my muscle. Let's see how and if NATO counters it. This is the bomb that said it can destroy all of the United Kingdom in one fell swoop. They also have had acknowledgments that it will destroy France in one fell swoop. You're talking about a bomb that can destroy a whole country. And you said, well, dang, how would that happen? Well, didn't the Most High destroy all of Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone, the Most High will take out everything in one fell swoop, right? Mass destruction. So it's 208 tons, 114 feet long. It's got 15 warheads in it. So what you see in here, you see here, this is how the bomb, this is the propulsion of the bomb. Then once the bomb comes loose, it lets out the warhead. So a lot of us may be thinking that when you get the bomb, it's going to come down and just hit the ground. No. Deadly nuke, right? So it's a bomb that comes out, the warhead detaches, and then the warhead has the missiles inside. So, you know, we've covered the stars of heaven. I showed y'all the video, the cluster bombs a couple weeks back. Might even been longer than that. Time is flying so fast. But the warheads come out, as you can see here, and the warheads drop. So it's 15 of them inside of here. Once they get deployed, they all shoot up out of there. They get the bombing. Everything in its path gets destroyed. So you're talking about a destruction that's going to be taking place that can destroy not only a whole country, but the fallout from the nuclear destruction is going to make the rest of the resources within miles of 5, 10, 15, 20 mile radius, maybe even more than that, depending on the winds that can blow the radioactive nuclear particles all onto, let's say farmlands in neighboring countries in, let's say Wales, or let's say France, or let's say Germany. It can destroy all of that stuff, all of the crops and everything else because of the nuclear fallout. I think we looked at some of the destruction of nukes. You can be like 4 miles away from the initial detonation point, man, and you can still get third-degree burns. Not even, you could be miles away from where the initial thing took place, and your body will still get burnt up. And that's what he just put on deck for combat duty right now. Now it's been enlisted and prepared for war. Times is getting a lot more crucial. It can reach 11,000 miles, 15,800 miles away. Let's see here. 11,000 miles. Let's wonder how. Yeah, see, they're playing games over here. Because they know that. Now, see, I put in there how many miles away is Russia from the U.S. They put 2.4 miles in 21 hours. That's because Russia and Alaska are damn near neighbors. But I want to see. Let's see Moscow to D.C. Washington, D.C. The distance from Moscow, Russia to Washington, District of Columbia, is only 4,873 miles. Did you see that? How many miles? Yeah, kind of. That's why I was saying that. They were saying that because they're neighbors. 4,873 miles. That's how close it is. And we're looking at this particular bomb that says it can travel a range of 11,000 miles. Pretty much it can hit anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. So think about it. Think about it. Okay. This is why we'll read it one more time. Because it's relevancy. What the Most High said to do what? Ezekiel 38. He told the the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, which is in Gog and Magog in Russia, the prophecies, right? Verse 4 says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. So the Most High is going to have full control over Russia and its leader, which is right now Putin. And that's why when I read earlier in Job 12, where it said that the seed and the deceiver is his, everybody's in the hands of the Lord. Everybody. It says, I'll turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So everybody's going to have weapons on them. And he's preparing, right? Thus saith the Lord. So this deadly nuke is on the loose, man. Nuclear warheads are dropped over the target area. It says the warhead capsule detaches from the missile's large fuel tank. The warhead cover is ejected. It maneuvers into position. Nuclear warheads are dropped over the target area. All right. So this is how and what's on deck. This is what's on deck, man. It's how much closer we're getting to World War III. Just the fact that we're even hearing about whether he decides to mobilize it, he utilizes it this year, next year, 5 years from now. The fact that he's even putting it for the first time on combat duty, meaning that it can and will be utilized, because he took off that the nuclear treaty earlier this year. He said, man, all bets is off, man. Nukes is on deck. He shipped nukes to Belarus, which is his ally, so that they can prepare for their bordering issues that they have with Poland and I think Lithuania, which are NATO allied countries. We've seen North Korea talking about their nukes, Iran talking about their nukes, man. All the nations are lining themselves up, posturing and positioning themselves, preparing for war. Let's continue on. Hopefully, yeah. Well, let's look at this too. All right. Just as we're seeing, man, everything connected in this particular matrix, man. There's constantly issues going on with glitches and errors that's happening in the airlines and the system fields. Look at it. Flight chaos to last for days. Thousands of stranded Brits are warned disruption will continue into the week despite, quote, network failure being remedied as 500 UK flights are canceled by air traffic control on one of the busiest days of the year. So now they, constantly talking about these particular network failures. Oh, was it a hack? What happened? We talked about it before about the cyber polygon and them dealing with cyber attacks. They're just testing everything out, man. Phone systems was down. Some people's phone systems was down a few days ago. They're out here testing the waters and figuring out how does this whole matrix grid of everything being aligned, so they can sit back and say, oh, we had an error here, error there. We need to consolidate everything into one particular network so we can digitize everything through one means. So, flight chaos, people constantly being stranded out. We've seen that happening with the weather earlier this year. Last year, they was having all kind of issues at the airports, flights being shut down and canceled because of glitches in the system, network issues. 5,000 pilots suspected of hiding major health issues. Most are still flying. I mean, now they've been damn near saying it ain't even safe to fly no more. Who knows what's going on with these pilots, man? Some are saying because of the protocols that people had to maintain in order to keep their jobs. You know what I'm talking about. Let me switch this view. People had to, sister says it. Internet was down all day. Yeah, there you go. You got the internet down. Here they come talking about, it's the storm. They know what they're doing. So 5,000 pilots suspected of hiding major health issues, man. Many pilots had to follow protocol to keep their jobs, and they got a couple of things shot up in them that may not be settling well with them. There's been reports about, man, Pilots having all kind of heart issues, man, falling out, passing out. Good thing the autopilot is pretty much what direction flies a plane. But even then, they still got to. They still need to land. They still need to be in communication. So now it's getting more dangerous to fly. 5,000 pilots are hiding major health issues, and they're still out there flying. Federal authorities have been investigating nearly 5,000 pilots, suspecting of falsifying their medical records to conceal that they are receiving benefits for mental health disorders and other serious conditions that could make them unfit to fly, documents and interviews show. So not only are they out here, man, with mental health issues, and they got other physical issues that's going on. Like I said, some are tying it into pilots having issues with their health after they got some treatments in their arms, you know. So who knows what's going on? Just very suspicious what's happening. Look at this. Hold on. Meanwhile, all this is going on in the earth, right? Look at this demon down here. That's a female, by the way. But look at what the world. This is how you know, man, that we are in spiritual Sodom. This is why you know that this place is all out of whack. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, is suing the state of Indiana over denial of a sex reassignment surgery for an inmate who strangled an 11-month-year-old to death. Now, let me, you know, I stumbled over that. The ACLU sues Indiana over denial of sex reassignment surgery for an inmate who strangled an 11-month-old to death. They want to reward this transformer demon down here for killing an 11-year-old, giving her or him, I don't know what's going on. Neither I'm trying to figure that out myself. Trying to reward them because the fact that you don't give them sex reassignment surgery that's going to come from quote unquote taxpayer money. They can still live their best life and go get chopped up and reconfigured to be who they want to be. And now you're suing. I mean, where is the come on, man? Jake gets pulled over for a busted headlight, and he's getting beat upside the head until he damn near dies. You get Jake has been locked up 30 and 40 years of their lives falsely. And after that, they come out and finally have to sue and then get some measly settlement. This damn demon is sitting on high, locked up, looking to advance their life and want to get reassignment surgery after killing an 11-month-old baby, getting rewards. And if they can't have their way, we'll sue. I mean, this is Sodom for real. The American Civil Liberties Union is suing the Indiana Department of Corrections on behalf of a transgender inmate, Jonathan C. Richards. Oh, so this is a guy. He wants to be a woman. Yeah, I'm confused. I said it was a woman, meaning he wants to be a woman. I mean, the Twilight Zone music should be playing right about now. Let's continue. So he's also known as Autumn Cordelion, who was convicted of strangling his 11-month-old stepdaughter to death in 2001. A recent Indiana law adopted July 1st prohibits the Department of Corrections from using taxpayer dollars to fund sex reassignment surgery for inmates. However, the ACLU argues in the lawsuit filed on August 28 that the law is a violation of the 8th Amendment's prohibition of cruel and unusual punishment. Oh, how tragic. Unreal. But this is America for you, though. This is America for you. While that's going on, man, while they're fighting to try to get this dude the ability to be Optimus Prime and transform, Planned Parenthood is running around here still on their mission of population control and trying to chop off the bloodline of men. Planned Parenthood to offer free vasectomies to uninsured young men in a mobile van called the Nutcracker. I mean, how blasphemous is that? How blasphemous is that? The Nutcracker. Deuteronomy 23:1, that's against the law. It says, he that is wounded in the stones or have his private member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. So if there's an issue with a man's reproductive system, he gets wounded in the stones. Maybe a man went to war, he got jacked up in the stones. That's why even in the law it tells you, man, if a woman was to grab a man by his stones and damages him and all of that, man, she would have to have her hand cut off. The Most High took serious in regards to reproduction. That was the first commandment. He said, be fruitful and multiply, right? So if he's sitting back saying, if you're wounded in your stones, or you go in and have reassignment surgery, you can't enter into the congregation. That would be considered a violation of the laws of the Most High. Planned Parenthood is running around with the van called the Nutcracker saying, no, forget the laws of God. Hey, you Negroes, you're out here repopulating too much. Hispanics, way too much, man. You don't have insurance? No problem. You got too many baby mamas? No problem. We can take care of you. Pull up to the van. Thanks to Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood in Missouri will carry out 100 free vasectomies in October. These are for uninsured and underinsured men to celebrate World Vasectomy Day. Can you imagine? World Vasectomy Day. It's a celebration. Cutting off the seed of Israel. Isn't that what they said in Psalms 83? Psalms 83:4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. How did they accomplish those things? Not only the name will no longer be in remembrance, they did that well by misinformation, distortion of history, hiding archaeology and everything else, giving us religion, false doctrines, and everything. That made the name of Israel be no more in remembrance, but cutting us off from being a nation through what? War, oppression, destruction, hanging, lynching, burning, dogs sicked on us, drownings, alligator bait, raping of our women, forced sterilizations that they're doing we're doing to our women, and more than likely still doing. Our sisters that are being incarcerated, they were doing it to the Native American women in the 70s, continuing in the 80s and the 90s with the Southern Kingdom sisters. Cutting off the seed, cutting off their ability to reproduce, offering them less time if they can get hysterectomies and all kind of stuff. I mean, this is the type of madness that they're doing. Planned Parenthood running around, man, talking about the Nutcrackers coming. Come get your free vasectomy. And you know how many Negroes going to run out there and say, man, I might as well, man. I got to stop this. I can't handle more. I can't afford them more. If you ain't got no insurance, you know he can't afford them kids anyway. So imagine who and where they're going to target. I mean, just look around. Google and look at Planned Parenthoods in your city. See if they're in the affluent areas where the heathen live. See, you know what? Let's experiment real quick. Let's look at LA County. Where is this? This is Riverside County. Yeah, I'm not this San Diego. I ain't too familiar with San Diego. I remember looking at this one time. I was like, these things is nowhere near where Esau be dwelling. I think the closest one they had was like in way out in the valley somewhere. What was the name of the place? I can't recall. See them stacked up all over the dang place, man. Oh, this place is disgusting. I remember how I found it a lot easier, man. They give you all kind of hell trying to find these damn bastards. Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm taking you on my own little personal journey. My own little personal journey. But do your own, just check it out. And you see where you find out where they are. Here's the yellow pages, man. Here, yeah, see? Long Beach, Compton, Torrance, Inglewood, all over LA, couple in Pasadena. When you get north, you're going up into the valley. One in Burbank. I mean, give me a break, man. Huntington Park, that's Northern Kingdom. Glendale, that's Armenians down there. West Hollywood, that's Sodomites. There ain't too many over there, but you're gonna see some 10 tribes and maybe a little bit of Southern Kingdom. I mean, this place is unbelievable, man. Wilmington. I'm just looking at the streets. Vermont, 30th Street. This is nowhere near where Esau lives at all. Broadway. The target audience is clear. Y'all know. All right. Yeah, for sure. You see them maps, and you see all over the place, man. And you know the target audience, they trying to get at us. Look, free vasectomy is on the way, man. Who's the target audience? I brought this out a while back, man. It never gets old. The Jaffe memo, Frederick Jaffe, vice president of Planned Parenthood back in 1969, laid out the plan. If you didn't see the lesson I did about the Scrabble gang and the LGBTQ plus HIV community agenda against our people, and just the whole nature of the sodomite culture and the seduction and the chemical warfare that they launched on our people, man. Check that lesson out if you haven't already. But this memo right here was coming from the president of Planned Parenthood to develop measures to reduce fertility, population control, in other words. And this was to be executed out on the people. See, here's a source down here. A family planning perspective special supplement published by Planned Parenthood World Population at NYC 1970. So all of these things were methods that they were going to use to reduce world population. Reduce population. Postpone or avoid marriage, alter the image of ideal family size. So clearly, I mean, they just did a study right now. They said that I think they said people that are 30 and above, 1 out of 10 are still virgins, and there was a higher rate of women who were going to be single with no children. Especially now with the economy, everything that's going on right now, people aren't even thinking about establishing and building families because of the cost of living. They're more cautious about it. Let alone you're setting aside all these particular goals. Oh, I got to go to school. I got to get my degree. I got to get my career underway. Before I start this, by the time I'm 35, that's when I'm going to have my baby. But meanwhile, you're eating, you're inhaling, you're drinking, all of the poisons and the toxins and everything that's out there, man, risking more physical damage to yourself, to where now your risks as a woman now are lesser the older you get to carry seed. You read in the scriptures, man, a sister like Sarah at 90 having a baby. Now it's like, oh, you might be cut off at 30, 35. Things slowing down. You might not be able to carry full term. Oh, it might come out, disabled. So they're doing all of these things, man. Compulsory education on the children. We see what's going on with the pushing of the books, the education for, the trans education, the LGBTQ plus HIV curriculum that's going on, man. All of the entrapment groups that they got set up, all of the counselors that they got sitting in the schools, talking and convincing the kids something's wrong with you. Right. Encourage increased homosexuality. I mean, do we not see that happening right now? How else are you going to stop population when everybody's having sex with the same sex? You dig what I'm saying? So they made good on all of this stuff, man. So now you see payments to encourage contraception, payments to encourage sterilization, abortion and sterilization on demand. Hello? Sterilization on demand. Here comes the Nutcracker van. Just like the damn ice cream truck playing the music, telling Jay, come on up. Get your free vasectomy. Lay down. So we see that they're doing it. This is from 1969. In 2023, they're still out here executing plans. And you guess who's behind some of the funding? Guess who follows along? Guess who's one of the bigger donors? Oh, Bill Gates. Yeah. Bill Gates, Planned Parenthood president, dad, inspired pro-abort funding. So he's been funding. This is an article from 2003. LifeSite News. In a lengthy interview with Bill Moyers released today, Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates reveals the inspiration for his funding of pro-abortion population control measures. So that means Bill Gates stands behind all of these ideas because his daddy was the president and sat on the board with Planned Parenthood. So we know where his mind is. That's why it's so ironic that his daughter is running around with jungle fever, dating a Jake. If that's still going on, I don't know. They said they was catching hell on social media because all of his little, racist constituents didn't like that. They ain't like the swirl going on. That's the ultimate payback, man. Even though it's not in our culture and ways to be laying down with the swine, but in reality of perspectives of so-called karma, or you reaping what you sow, it's very interesting that his daughter has a chocolate fetish. And wouldn't it be nice, man, if he had a nice little Negro baby pop up in there, man, and be an inheritor of his wealth? Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, responding to a question by Moyers on how he came to fund reproductive issues, Gates answered, when I was growing up, my parents were always involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood, and it was controversial to be involved with. Oh, controversial. I wonder why. We just got to seeing the reasons that Planned Parenthood is standing on. Planned Parenthood is establishing funding for transformer surgeries. They're out there, promoting hormone drugs and all that. And they're trying to cut off the seed. Continuing on, it says it was very controversial to be involved with that. And so it's fascinating. See, he loves it. It's fascinating. At the dinner table, my parents are very good at sharing the things that they were doing and almost treating us like adults talking about that. So they were very good at passing along the information, man. Generationally talk about how much these niggas need to get destroyed. We need to cut them off. They're the biggest threats to us. Hispanics, man, we got to get rid of them. You understand? Here's one of the founders right here, man. Margaret Sanger. Everybody know about her. The demon witch herself. The most successful education approach to a Negro. This is a quote that was attributed to her. The most successful educational approach to the Negro is through a religious appeal. Now watch this. They know and they do the studies. That's why I said, man, they wake up, they study destruction. They know how much Negroes, man, fall in love with their religious oppressors. White-based Christianity, man, oppressive Christianity, man, they love it. They will defend their white oppressor to the death. Leading the charge, man, the urban apologists, the Christian apologists, they all run around, man. What about the white man? What about the white man? Oh, there's nothing wrong. Nobody knows what color Christ was, but meanwhile, they got the white Christ, hanging off of the damn, rear view mirror decal, hanging up in their churches, hanging up in their homes. So they know, they said, man, the best way that you can educate a Negro is through religious appeal. This is why Planned Parenthood used to go through and talk to the preachers, man, and compromise them and have them promote Planned Parenthood in their churches. Uncle Tom's, the Alchemists of First Maccabees, I think it's the 7th chapter. Those types. Menelaus, all of those coons, they still exist. We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. Did you hear that? She says that they don't want word to get out that they're trying to exterminate the Negroes. And they're going to use the ministers, the preachers, as the man who will straighten out the idea. So if the word gets out that Planned Parenthood is about destroying Black lives, Hispanic lives, they're trying to world populate, they're promoting homosexuality, they want to, giving you free gender bender chemicals for your body. They're running around on campuses promoting homosexuality and all that other stuff. Yeah, they got busted passing out pamphlets and all that other stuff, promoting the LGBTQ plus HIV agenda. They said as soon as the word gets out, the good old preacher, man, the glitter bug, he was going to tap dance up and down the pulpit to make you feel good again, tell you you're tripping. They are friends. They're going to use the ministers, man. They call the clergy response teams. These are the clergy that are compromised by the government and FEMA and everybody else. These are the Judas goats. Look up that term, the Judas, what a Judas goat is. These are the Judas goats that are going to lead our people to destruction. And she says, we're going to use the ministers to straighten out the idea that if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members, as soon as you start to rise up, they're going to be the ones that quell everything down. Calm down. This is why you see Reverend Al Sharpton out there with no Bible in hand back in the 80s and the 90s, trying to get everybody calmed down. This is why Reverend Jesse Jackson will be utilized. You don't see no Bible in his hand every time he's out leading the march or standing up for, now he's out the picture. These guys are getting old. Reverend Al Sharpton, I think he's still he's probably still relevant somewhere on TV and politics, man. He didn't lose so much weight, man. He's about 80-pound head and 60-pound body right now. I don't know. But this is why they utilize these preachers, man. They roll them out to quell anybody that's being rebellious and keep them in line. And the white man knows they're utilizing them. All right. Let's look at some of the economic news, man. Look at this. America's bank branch bloodbaths laid bare. These states have seen the highest proportion of bank closures as firms like Wells Fargo and PNC abandoned more than 1,000 locations. Is your branch being affected? I mean, when in your lifetime or mine have we seen such economic chaos going on? I mean, slow Biden and the rest of them talking about how great the economy is. Bidenomics is more booming than ever. Yeah, now we're seeing and hearing about alternative currencies being utilized, cashless societies being brought to the table, central bank digital currencies being the new wave. Now we're hearing about more banks closing branches, closing down, being overtaken by bigger banks. Look at it. Who knew? 1,114 banks have closed this year alone, and we're only in September. That was at the end of July. That's a little more than halfway through the year. You already got 1,100 over 1,100 banks that are closed. This is why people are wondering if what was it? Last week, Wells Fargo had a glitch in the system. People couldn't, withdraw their money, couldn't use their bank. All these issues that are happening within the banking system, people losing money out the banks, man. They can do bank runs where they can take our money, utilize it to save themselves, and then double back and say, "Oh, it's insured. We'll get back to you as soon as we can," or let us give you an IOU. This is what they did back in, I believe, during the Great Depression. They had everybody riding the wave on the stock market, man. Everybody was making money. They was buying war bonds and doing all kind of stuff. And then guess what? Everything crashed in because of, these Edomites got all greedy, crashed the economy. And then guess what? The people that had money in there, that gave them IOUs and told them turn in your gold and all this other stuff so that we can save the banks. Nowadays, they don't have to do that. They just get the Federal Reserve to print up some money. But the more they do that, the more inflated the dollar becomes, and the less value it becomes, and the more pricey everything is in life, which is what we're experiencing right now, from gas to power to energy to food, clothes, the bare necessities. Everybody's getting rent increases now. You notice after that rent moratorium went away, evictions is skyrocketing. Bankruptcies is higher than it's been. I think they said since 2008 or 2010. Car repossessions is up. Credit card debt is over $1 trillion right now. But a Negro still finding a way to go buy a damn eighth of weed. Still trying to find a way that they can go buy that 40 ounce if they still drinking that. I mean, come on. Jay gonna find a way to get by. I mean, that's how we are. We're the supplanters. Jacob, IQAhmath, the supplanter. But this is the state of affairs of our economy right now, man. Don't sleep, man. Y'all, I would tell y'all, man, try to make sure that you don't trust everything in one particular pot. Be it far from me. I ain't no damn financial advisor. All I can do is tell you, I'm just looking and seeing. I'm like, oh, they over here jacking with somebody's account over here. Banks over here is tripping. Oh, always make sure you got a little something on hand at home. Like I said, even if you stashing away $20 out of every check, whatever you can afford, put it on your mattress, buy a safe. Make sure you got something at home because God forbid they go make a run on the banks, man, and they talk about everything and crashed or oops, the grid is down. Oh, we're having a glitch and we can't service you right now. Give us some time. We're working out the kinks. We'd be in trouble. So the banks is closing. They having issues. All right. Oh, look, Schwab plans layoffs, office closures, in effort to rein in costs. Investors still aren't happy. Charles Schwab, big investment firm, even they can't manage the damn economy and keep people's money and profits safe. They're laying off. They're trying to rein in costs. So when you have financial advisors and investors like Charles Schwab, big major investment firm, they're laying off and they're saying we got to cut costs to help our investors, and the investors still ain't happy. They ain't liking what's going on. We're in trouble economically. All right, poverty is on the rise. That means more crime. That means more death, famine, the whole nine. Look, dollar stores flash warning signs on consumer spending. Dollar General and Dollar Tree say shoppers are shifting spending towards food and essentials. So now, the Dollar General, their stocks are decreasing. You would think the stores like the Dollar Store and Dollar General, their stocks will be up because people are trying to cut costs and go buying the cheaper goods and, shaking the dice and buying stuff from there to survive off of. How is their stocks decreasing? That means because they're not even getting the money down, like they used to. While stores are closing down, becoming more, in our areas, they're calling, we know they're called food deserts. We're being able to get true food and nutritious resources are not available. We always have to travel out to go to Sprouts and go to Mother's Market and go to Whole Foods and Amazon Fresh, or going to whatever your local Trader Joe's, whatever your local healthier store could. We have to travel out to go there. Those things aren't readily available in our neighborhoods. But there's plenty of McDonald's, Jack in the Box, there's plenty of KFC. You understand what I'm saying? There's plenty of Food for Less and El Super and cheaper markets that's getting the back end of the bigger market stuff. That's why we got these food deserts. And now, because of the crime, a lot of these stores are closing up shop. I just covered that story. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. One of the major stores in the DC area where Jake's live is considering closing down because of the crime and because of them taking all these losses with Jake's in there stealing, trying to survive. So it says Dollar General has a 5.39, almost 5.4% decrease. Red down pointing triangle shares fell to their lowest levels in years after the discount retailer cut its outlook for the year amid signs that its customers are pulling back on purchases. So even a dollar store and Dollar General say people are pulling back from buying there. Even though we know everything ain't a dollar no more, but hell, even if it's $1.50 and people's like, I don't know if I can afford that right now. This may not be everybody's situation, but when you're looking at it from a overall perspective, it's a majority of people's issues because their stocks is dropping. And they're saying, man, we aren't as valuable as, we once was because people is pulling back and only buying what's essential right now. The days of splurging and buying a little extra here, those things, it ain't happening. And Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, he already said, man, expect more pain. We got more increase in the interest rates coming down the pipeline, which means it's just going to keep getting worse and worse as time goes on. Dollar General reported slowing sales in the recently ended quarter and said its inventory of unsold goods is piling up. The Goodlettsville, Tennessee company said it plans to burn through profit in the second half of the year to reduce inventory and improve performance at its stores. Like other retailers, Dollar General also said it expects store theft to keep rising. I mean, it's got to be tough times, man, if people are going to Dollar Generals and dollar stores to steal. I mean, we're talking about goods and services, man, that's less than $2, and people's like, I can't afford it. I need that. And now, with Esau knowing this, the Jake's running around, trying to save a buck and need a place to go get something to eat, they're targeting urban areas where they know we're going to be at. Look what happened over there in Buffalo. That damn heathen went up in there, man, and killed 10 of ours. Edomite just killed three of our people, man, and himself at the Dollar General in Jacksonville. Now they're out running around praying, trying to find where they get. Just like, the scriptures say, man, the devil as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. They're running around trying to find where they can find Jake, and they know. You start seeing, man, these damn rundown looking Edomites, man, looking suspicious in the store that they ain't got no business in there. Majority Jacob in there, they coming in with heavy coats on and it's 90 degrees outside. Get the hell out of there. Because who knows what they're up to. Let's continue. Poor Americans tap debt, buy less food as consumer cracks widen. See? And they're talking about, the SNAP benefits is going to get affected. Look at this. An increasing share of low-income Americans are behind on rent and struggling to afford food, adding to signs of growing financial distress in the economy. I see it too, man. I go to, usually during the week, I spend a little time. I go to the park. I might do some walking, do a little working out, or do something, or just get a little studying in. Killing some time before I pick my son up from work. And I see Jakes, man. They living in vans, trailers, in their cars, and they all go to the parks because they can go use the restrooms. They use the sinks and whatnot, cleaning up. I mean, they got all kind of stuff packed up in these cars, man. I was just at the car wash vacuuming out my car. Um, what was it, Sunday? And it was a damn uh, family. I don't even know if it was a family. It looked like it was two meth head Edomites and whatnot. They parked up in there, man. Everything jammed up in the damn SUV that they had. Living out of there, killing time. So this is what's going on. People is out there living, but you know what's so interesting is, and it's a good idea to some degree, but it's still mental conditioning. As you see a lot of YouTube and Instagram content creators, man, uh, celebrating having less. You know, oh, I got a little tiny home. Isn't this great? I'm living out my van. Isn't this nice? Oh, let me show you how to convert my van into a home now. Well, that's the idea. The so-called white man said, Klaus Schwab said, you'll own nothing, have nothing, and be happy. See, when we start celebrating having less, that's all mental conditioning and saying, yeah, that's how we're supposed to be. You're supposed to be crammed into, projects and ghettos and, living on top of each other and make the best of it. Or you're supposed to be, living out of your car. How that now has become a glorified thing is beyond me. I can see that as a means of, bugging out, traveling, doing what you need to do to get up out of a situation where you can be self-sustainable out of a trailer. That's all cool. I can see that. But people are doing that just off the rip. Like, you know what? I'm tired of paying rent in my apartment. I'm going to go ahead and live in my car for life. That's the entrapment. That's the entrapment. Where you're supposed to make the Most High said, man, he made the earth for our sakes. And now our people is satisfied living out of a trunk. It's all mental manipulation. Right? So look at this. An increasing share of low-income Americans are behind on rent, struggling to afford food, adding to signs of growing financial distress in the economy. Among households using supplemental nutrition assistance programs boosted pandemic benefits, 42% skipped meals in August. So we're talking about people that's on SNAP, EBT. They're getting benefits from the government to buy their food, and they still don't have enough where they have to skip meals. That means that the SNAP benefits is being reduced. People ain't getting what they used to get. The pandemic where they was giving people extra money on your SNAP, EBT, all that, they cut that off. The rent moratoriums where they say you ain't got to pay your rent and people for 3 years. That's all over with, man. Evictions is up like crazy. And then right after them evictions, everybody's getting rent increases. So now people can't afford the new rent and they moving out, moving back home with mom, roommating with whoever, or living out of their cars and trunks. Tent cities all over the place, man. Y'all see it? Look at this. People, 42% skipped meals in August and 55% ate less because they couldn't afford the food. More than double last year's share, according to Wednesday's report from Propel Inc., a benefits software developer. Those on SNAP are typically households with income at a below the poverty line. So people already at below the poverty line need the SNAP benefits, need the EBT benefits, and they still don't have enough to eat. This is where you see famine. This is where you're going to see pestilence. This is where you're going to see a lot of hell continuing on the earth. When SNAP can't even pay for you to eat, what are you going to do next? Inside today's disastrous jobs report. Now look at this. You look at these reports, man, they tell me, oh, jobs is increasing great. No. 670,000 full-time jobs were lost in 2 months versus 1 million part-time surge. So do you see how they do? They'll go out and say we created 1 million jobs over the last 2 months, but they were part-time. They're part-time jobs. Nobody can survive off of part-time jobs in America, let alone in these states. let alone wherever you may be in the world, because the whole world is being crushed by this economic downturn. They're creating part-time jobs. Meanwhile, they're slashing all the full-time jobs. You understand what I'm saying? So what they're going to do, they have plenty of part-time jobs available, and then those that want to be a part of the B system, okay, we're going to give you a universal basic income to offset, your part-time wages. Yeah, you're going to get food rations. We're going to give you what you can and can't buy. Yeah, everything's going to be GMO, fake based, cloned out. But this is what you're going to be able to eat and purchase. Oh, you can't travel here, there. We need to track your movements, all that stuff. Y'all know. So 670,000 full-time jobs got lost in 2 months, and to replace it, they give a million part-time jobs. But meanwhile, they lie and say the economy's doing great, jobs is up. The unemployment rate jumps to 3.8%, the highest in 18 months. An economy adds 187 jobs in August as labor market continues to cool. So jobs now are being lost. Layoffs is back boosting up again. You're gonna see more people desperate out there, man. More and more desperation of people is gonna be happening. Wildfires are still going wild, crazy out there. We've seen it in Canada. We've seen what happened over there in Maui. Greece now is getting burnt down. Greece struggles to contain Europe's largest wildfire on record. Yeah, every time we talk on record, his story, in history, I tell you, every time we see them type of words, man, it's a changing of prophecy. We're seeing what's happening in the earth. New things, well, so-called new things. Most High says nothing new under the sun. When he starts burning things down, this is the most High. Greece is seen on record, but it ain't the biggest that ever happened. But we're just seeing the work of the Lord happening, man. We've been reading about the tempests and the storms and the fires, the judgment of the Most High, the spirits that's created for vengeance. We've been reading about this for who knows how long, and it's still going on. So Greece is over there burning. Look at this. Brace for the worst. Super typhoon. Saola barrels towards South China. So China's getting ready to get hit with a super typhoon. They're just now coming up breathing water because they got flooded out a few months ago. Now they about to get hit again, man. The Most High is relentless dealing with these heathens. They getting exactly what the Most High it has planned for them. So they're getting ready to get hit with the typhoon, man. We know it's hurricane season, typhoon season, all that other stuff, man. But these things are ramping up so crazy that they're having historic type damage now. Typhoon getting hit over there in South China, right? This is another thing. Everybody pay attention to this and be aware. There's going to be a massive test on the emergency alert system this fall. Here's what you need to know. So they're saying October 4th, FEMA is going to be hitting a test message on all TVs, radios, and mobile phones. This lets you know, man, everything is compromised into one particular grid, man. Don't talk about how much your phone is yours and, you've got security on this, that, and the third. This is why everything now is moved to smart TVs, the analog, all that's out of here. I seen that years ago when we was sons of Jacob, and I used to do cable shows, and you have what do you call it? Like community channels. Some of y'all will remember those back in the 2000s, in the 90s. Your cable channels used to have a community show, a community channel. We can have all kind of content come on there. We used to do cable shows. And I remember 2000, it had to be maybe around 2008, maybe a little bit earlier than that. 6, they cut it off. They said, man, we're good. We're going digital. Analog is over with, man. We got to cut the channel out. We're not going to be doing cable shows no more at the cable companies. And I was like, what? Then next thing you know, man, everything starts switching up. Everything's digitized. Next thing you know, here come the smart TVs. They were cutting off communications to where it was different methods of how we reach our people. You know, I know a couple of camps used to do cable shows. We were just one of them, but at the time. But yeah, now we're seeing how all these things are integrated. So your smart TV, smartphone, radio, everything is all on the same grid, man. This is why you if you're wondering, can you be tracked? Can they trace you? Can they find you? Every time you get an Amber Alert on your phone, man, that's nothing that you voluntarily do. All the phones, that's why they have all the apps, everything already lined up when you buy the phone. You don't download most of these apps on the phone, man. Facebook is already there, Instagram's already there. Um, what's the other one? X, which was formerly Twitter. All of them is already on there, man. They get, the Gmail, everything is already on the phone. And some of them you can't uninstall. They always still be on your phone. So an emergency broadcast test is coming 2:20 p.m. Eastern on October 4th. The question is what's going on? You know, you're hearing about the new variant that's flying around. What are they preparing to alert everybody for? What disaster is coming? I mean, if he tells us one thing, man, if he speaks fair, you already know the rest. We read it earlier. Something is going to be happening, a false flag, who knows what. They want to make sure, they want to see, is everybody on that? Do we have communications for everybody? Are we able to track and trace everybody? So it's going to come through. I've seen it before on the TV before one time when the pandemic hit. There was a little test that came on. They zapped out my TV. It was on. The message came on. So when they say, oh, okay, we need to test everything, it's going to be a nationwide test for everything going on. So just know, if he's testing all the communication systems, something is coming down the pipeline, in my estimation. He ain't just doing it just because, It says it's going to be split in two portions. The WA portion of the test will be directed to all consumer cell phones. This will be the third nationwide test, but the second test to all cellular devices. The test message will display in either English or in Spanish, depending on the language settings of the wireless handset. The message will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." So they're just going to test the waters, man. They want to make sure that everybody's, locked into the matrix grid, So expect that on the 4th. And we'll see what comes down the pipeline after that. On the heels of what this demon says. Some of y'all seen this, but let's let him say it.
Mr. President, can you say anything about the uptick of COVID cases and the new variant?
Yes, I can. Matter of fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for new vaccine that is necessary, that works.
Whoa. So some of y'all may not be able to hear it through his mush mouth slur, but the woman said, Mr. President, do you have anything to say about the new variant that's going around? Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, a matter of fact, I've already put forth a proposal for funding to get a new vaccine made, and this one works. So is he acknowledging that the former ones and all the boosters and all that didn't work? Let me double back. Hold on, maybe I missed that.
Can you say anything about the uptick of COVID cases and the new variant?
Yes, I can. Matter of fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for new vaccine that is necessary, that works. And tentatively, not decided finally yet, tentatively, it is recommended that it will likely be recommended that everybody get it, no matter what they got before now.
Mr. President?
It's going to be recommended that everybody get it, regardless if you got the other one or not. So they're doubling down, man. They're doubling down on this thing. He said a new one is coming. He ain't say we're going to continue funding for the ones that we've already got. We need to boost up. We're going to get Moderna. We're going to get Pfizer. We're going to get all them on deck, man. Make sure that they got plenty on deck. No. A new one is coming. And it said, and this one works. I told y'all last week, man, my job, they already told me that my exemption was only going to be good. My religious exemption was only going to be good until next year. After that, they're going to have some new policy coming up. And they already talking about, this dude talking about, it's going to be tentatively recommended everybody get it. You figure out what he's talking about. I'm not going to say nothing.
And matter of fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal.
Look, did y'all see this? This guy, Glitch Mcconnell, not Mitch. We're not calling him Mitch no more. It's Glitch. Glitch Mcconnell appears to freeze while talking to reporters. This is not a repeat of the one that it just happened to him 2 months ago. He's at it again.
Another troubling incident for Mitch McConnell.
What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Then the 81-year-old Senate minority leader stood silent. An aide steps in.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
Still just...
Now see, the fact that she's got to walk up to him and speak that loud, that's what somebody old, incoherent. Grandpa, did you hear it? Do you know? What'd you say? Grandpa, we need you to watch out. You're going to get hit upside the head. She's already used to talking to him like that. Now, some people said a couple months ago he had a stroke. Oh, okay. All right. So he's back. He's back to normal again. He's good to go. Oops. Did that happen again? Now he didn't got froze out again. Come on now. Just interesting how he's glitching out in real time.
Senator, running for re-election in 2026?
Still just a blank expression.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
A member of his security detail comes forward.
Come with us. Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Last month, McConnell froze for 23 seconds before being escorted away. He returned shortly after, telling reporters, "I'm fine."
Senator.
Now, another freeze. We spoke to...
I mean, these demons, man, they don't know when to stop. These old heathens, man, they sitting up there, won't relinquish power, man, won't step aside. She asked him, did you hear the question? He said, yes. Then he glitched out. Then the dude comes up, he says, man, you want to head outside? No, I'm okay. And then just like a damn demon they do, she goes out and says, okay, any more questions, please speak up, acting as if the reporters asking the question didn't speak loud enough, like he didn't hear them. Please speak up. That's why he just was confused. He couldn't hear what you guys said. You don't knock it off, man. Glitch McConnell at it again, man. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Anybody want to make excuses for him, man, so be it, man. But something ain't right. Y'all know it. And this is a dude, man. He's a top senator calling shots within Babylon, influential in Republican politics. Glitch McConnell's on the move, man.
To neurologist, Dr.
Prepare for the next big show, man. While they're out here ready to push the next form of treatment. Let's call it that. Slow Biden just got to telling you, funding has been put forward. He's already made the proposition. They got a new thing coming, and it's going to be. He wants everybody to get it. We've seen everything that's going on politically that's happening. We see everything that's going on with the poverty situation, the war that's happening. And to keep everybody distracted, man. Agent Orange, Agent 45. Let's make sure that we televise. Let's make sure the revolution is televised, man. Trump's Georgia trial will be on television. So they're gonna make sure it's much watched TV. As the TV, they just got to talking about, man, cable is struggling to stay afloat. Everybody's streaming now. YouTube, all of the other little streaming channels. Hardly anybody's got cable anymore. And they figure, hey, well, we got to capitalize on this as best we can, man. We're going to utilize him to get the ratings up. He's going to be the new OJ. I think they said that the day they had the election, or no, the debates, he did an interview with Tucker Carlson. The interview he did got over 200 million views, and the debates got like 2-3 million views. So Esau knows where everybody's attention is, and they're looking to see, well, who do we divert everybody's attention to? He's the attention getter. He's the one that can be the most distractive. They ain't gonna let this heathen, but they ain't gonna let him come back and win no damn election again. That's out. But he's gonna be utilized to distract everybody from the madness that they got going on. Emergency alerts coming October 4th, man. Here they are talking about, but forget about that, man. Did you hear they're gonna be broadcasting the Trump trial? Oh, it's gonna be lit. Oh, did you hear about the new vaccine coming? Oh, don't forget about that. They're airing the trial is coming. Live, streaming. And it's 18 co-defendants, man. They got the t-shirts they already made, man, profiteering off it. It's ridiculous. I mean, if we don't see this play coming down the pipeline, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm watching everything but this damn trial. Because I know some more stuff is coming behind closed doors. Blink 1 minute, man, thief in the night is going to come, and it's over with. So be prepared. They're getting ready to flood everybody with Trump this, Trump that. He's going to be all over the news again. While everybody's worried about watching the Trump saga, X, formerly known as Twitter, plans to collect biometric data, job, and your school history. Also, because everybody, we love social media so much. Oh, I don't have a Twitter. I don't deal with that. But, so many people are so captivated with Twitter. They're so used to getting their news from Twitter. They're so used to, pushing their businesses through Twitter. It's what it's supposed to be used for, and some. But now it's shifting. X, the social network that used to be known as Twitter, updated its privacy policy to include a new kind of user data and plans to collect biometric. Based on your consent, we may collect and use your biometric information for safety, security, and identification purposes. It's always for our good, always for our benefit. Meanwhile, they exploit it, use it, and destroy lives. As they say, oh, it's for your own good. Here, roll up your sleeve. You'll be okay. You want to make sure everybody else around you is safe, right? Here, take this. And before you know it, man, all hell breaks loose in your life, health-wise, right? So they want to collect your biometric data. The company said it in its new policy. X doesn't define what it considers biometrics, though other companies have used the term to describe data gleaned from a person's face, eyes, and fingerprints. Oh. So, yeah, maybe I don't know what it means. Maybe to log on to your Twitter profile, you're going to have to use a facial scan, facial recognition scan, an eye scan, iris scan, or fingerprints. Maybe those how you're going to be able to access your stuff. But if you remember, I showed everybody before the grid on the World ID. It said even to access your social media accounts, you're going to need to have that. Maybe we need to look at that again. Remember this? Look down here. Social platforms for social interaction to access third-party services to rely on social media logins. Hello? Remember this? Look, what's this? Isn't that the logo that used to be Twitter? Now you see why they switching it to X? Oh, okay. People wondering if Elon Musk is the good guy, man. Oh yeah, he's standing up rebellious against give me a damn break, man. There's another Judas goat. That's why Twitter is right there. Social platforms. This is everything a digital ID is going to encompass. Case closed. Now they're talking about it. Social media companies have long drawn criticism from users and regulators around the world for information they gather and how they use the data, including the sale of advertising tailored to a person's interests and search histories. Elon Musk, who brought Twitter last year, has said one of his priorities is to rid the site of inauthentic accounts and push more users towards a service that applies a blue check mark indicating the user is paid $8 a month and is more likely to be human. Well, there you have it. Okay. So the Twitter users, man, be careful, be aware. When they start switching up and saying this is how you got to access things, know what you're getting into, know what you're agreeing to. Oh, Hunter Biden, he's moving into a $15,000 a month Malibu home with his wife Melissa and son Bo. I mean, how the hell does he get a Negro, man? You can't even get evicted from a damn 2-bedroom apartment in the hood for non-payment and try to find another place to live without, catching hell. We just read a month ago about him leaving his last place that he was renting in Malibu in shambles, thousands of dollars in damage, and they're living like a damn nigga. And now he's already got a new home, $15,800 a month Malibu home. As Secret Service hunkers down across the road in taxpayer-funded crash pad. I mean, these dudes is unbelievable, man. I love looking at what the hell are they up to, man, because you talk about a crime syndicate family, man, headed by Slow Biden. His son, Dope Fiend, is just out there living his best life. And don't nobody, our people sitting back wondering if they're going to vote Democrat or Republican. Shouldn't be voting neither or. But damn, it should be obvious what the hell is going on. These dudes out here living a high life, man. Scriptures say, man, they spend their days in wealth, man. They say, what is the Most High that we should serve him? So he got a nice little new crib in Malibu, man, that he can spark up some rocks, blow smoke at the ocean, and not trip. Meanwhile, I mean, I thought this dude was facing charges and indictments for all kind of matters. He ain't, don't sound like it. 4-bedroom home. And got Secret Service, man, protecting him. And that's another reason why, man, the whole thing with Trump is a joke. With him getting arrested and indicted and all of that. Because they say that ex-presidents, man, have Secret Service protection for life. So he's always got a security detail with him. That's why you see him still riding around with caravans and still riding around in private jets. He still get lush treatment for life. And they saying, well, if he gets locked up, I mean, does that mean Secret Service got to go in jail with him and protect him? That's why he ain't going to jail, man. That's ridiculous. But we'll see. Let's continue. Active shooter at Rhode Island TF Green Airport sparks a lockdown and police response. So we're seeing, the activity of violence happening, even more. Let's look at this. Second answer is 5. It says, nevertheless, as coming to tokens. Man, I'm crying loud as hell. Nevertheless, it's coming to tokens. Behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So we're going to see a time that there's going to be a taking of great number. The truth is going to be hidden. Amos 8 tells us that there's going to be a famine in the land, but not of bread and water, but of hearing the word of the Most High. The land's going to be barren of faith because there's going to be so much despair going on in the earth, man. People are going to be questioning whether or not God exists. whether or not the Most High, is going to still make good on his promise and, redeem the children of Israel, or, all the faithful Christians out there are going to be wondering, how come, the pearly gates ain't open to them right now. But the Lord said, man, this is what's going to be happening. Verse 2, it says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which thou now seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. So the scripture telling us, man, even in Genesis, when the Most High, Christ said that it's going to be like the days of Noah. And Genesis 6 says that the earth was filled with violence. Now the scripture says that iniquity is going to be increasing above everything that we're seeing right now. It's going to get even worse. Or what we heard long ago. You see what I'm saying? So when we're seeing these particular stories coming out as succession, this is all within the last week. Active shooter at an airport in Rhode Island. University of North Carolina. Here go another, a lot of these mass shootings that we've been seeing so far this year, most of them been damn Moabites. Moab and Esau, man. The two peas in a pod. Every time I've showed y'all, man, you reading the scriptures, man, Moab and Ammon and Esau always doing some dirt together, hanging out together. Here they go again. Another damn Moabite man that came in and shot his I think it was his teacher. UNC shooting update. Students demand gun control with powerful newspaper front page after Chapel Hill attack. Okay. Now, here they go talking about wanting gun control. So, that's always a talking point when it's election year. So in another 4 months, they're going to start, less than that. I mean, they're already campaigning. They're already getting ready for the new policy. Democrats love to use mass shootings and police brutality and all that to rally their cause, to try to get the minority votes. Every time that goes on, right? So expect to see more mass shootings, expect to see more Jakes getting beaten, killed in the streets by police and all of that other stuff. Expect to see more riotous behavior happening in particular cities, because they got to politicize it, they got to utilize it to sway people's minds and votes and all of that. So for all of us, man, be careful out there, because all of this stuff is going to continually be on the rise. We just got to reading it. Iniquity is going to rise more than what we see right now. Moab, Ammon, they getting wound up, man. The little sleeper cells, man, they getting a call. Have y'all seen the Manchurian Candidate where they get the phone call and the doctor's on the line and whispers in their ear the hypnotic trance, and boom, there they go. They're running out. So this Moabite, man, he went in and went into his classroom, man, shot the teacher, man, had everybody running up out of there. This was happening. I think this happened earlier this week. I think it happened on Tuesday. But Mr. Key, or Z, whatever his name is, a PhD student majoring in applied physical sciences, had complained about the victim online in the lead up to attack and railed against hard work, girls and tattletales and bullies in the U.S. So this guy's already been complaining about the cat that he shot online, talking about girls and tattletales and bullies. And the dude was like 30 years old, PhD student. He's still trying to get his PhD. He was like a little over 30, I think he was. Going to University of North Carolina. He had already went to Wuhan University. Then he came over here and went to another school. Then he was getting his PhD at University of North Carolina. This guy's a career student, bookworm, brainiac, Moabite man trying to get over here and become a PhD. So it ain't like he's, completely lost all of his damn marbles or he got all kind of mental issues, but nonetheless, he got pushed to the brink, man. Went and shot up the school. Shot up somebody at the laboratory. He got arrested and booked. Orange County Sheriff's Office in jail on a first-degree murder charge, fatally shooting Yan, the head of the Department of Applied Sciences. So he shot another Moabite who was the head of the Department of Applied Sciences. I mean, there was another mass shooting in Orange County out here about a week and a half ago. Edomite domestic abuse. Domestic issue. got divorced from his wife. He drove all the way from Ohio, pulled up on his wife at a biker bar, shot her homegirl, and I think a few other people, and then killed himself. There's another Edomite that covered the story. He drove from Utah. No, he drove from California to Utah, killed his brother. So we're seeing the heinous crimes, man. The people are going out there, crimes of passion, emotional distraught. People is out there losing their damn minds. But it's no coincidence that we're seeing all of these happen just within this week. That was North Carolina. 3 people dead after the gunman targeted black people in Jacksonville. We talked about that earlier. 1 teen killed, 4 people injured following a shooting at Oklahoma high school football game. That just happened last Saturday. So within 7 days, multiple mass shootings, we can classify them as mass shootings. I think they said if more than 3 people are shot, it's considered a mass shooting. Within 7 days, right? Here's another one. Baltimore City Public Schools halts a high school football game after a 12-year-old boy got shot nearby. That was just yesterday. So people are out in public, man. They shooting, they not caring. They're ramshacking and smashing and grabbing stores, man. It's time for everybody to maintain your awareness and, stay on point out there. Stay on point out there. Look at it. Taking dietary supplements are full of antioxidants could actually help cancerous tumors grow. I mean, is there anything that we can take anymore, man? Is there anything out there that won't kill us or won't harm us? I mean, the so-called white man's completely destroyed the earth, man. This is why he's got to be getting rid of, man. That's why the Most High said in Revelation 11, he said he's going to destroy him which destroyeth the earth. He's tampered with, poison, destroyed every damn thing. Isaiah 24 says the earth is destroyed. I mean, this is ridiculous. You can't even take vitamins no more without this dude talking about, it might cause some tumors to grow. You might get cancer from taking vitamins. I mean, what is he trying to prove, man? Either this is all lies and he's getting ready to come with utilize my methods of medicinal help, and that's the only thing that's going to help save you, which more than likely he's going to try to corner the market. That's what he does. But this is why the Most High even told us, man, when it comes down to healing, let's get this before we close out. Y'all know this, but we got to read it. Because here he is talking about taking vitamins or dietary supplements could be feeding tumors and promote their growth. Scientists warn. Common antioxidants such as vitamin A, C, selenium, and zinc can stimulate the growth of blood vessels and cancer when taken in excess. This discovery surprised researchers as prior studies have shown antioxidants to be protective. Swedish scientists state that natural levels of antioxidants in food are safe. Taking supplements containing additional antioxidants could fuel tumor growth and allow the disease to spread. So now they're saying vitamin A, C, selenium, zinc, any particular antioxidants, you take too much of them. Who's to say what's too much? You dig what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Now you're talking about you can get cancer from it or it can help cancerous tumors grow. It's unbelievable. Can't do nothing with this damn devil. This is why the Most High gave us our instructions. Sirach 38:1, honor a physician with the honor that is due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. If you have a need, you got to go to the doctor. Fair enough. Go to the doctor, man. But don't trust this guy, man. Don't trust this guy. You got in an accident, car, whatever the case may be. You got to get a surgery done. You got particular ailments. The Most High said, give him honor for what you may have of him, not because you're scared, because he keeps saying, man, make sure you get your yearly checkup every 2 years. You better come see me. And did you get your flu shot? Did you get it? Make sure you get that. Listen to me. I'm the doctor. No. If I have a need for you, I'm going to come talk to you. If not, man, leave me the hell alone. I'm dealing with what the Lord told me to use, what his remedies are. For the Lord have created them. Let's drop down. Verse 4, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Our medicines come from the earth. That's right, Neva. We come from the earth, man. Everything that the earth produces is part of us. We can utilize all them same things, man, to help fuel us. There's plenty of herbal remedies, natural homeopathic remedies that we can utilize, but you got to stay on course and utilize them early and continue on with them, as opposed to once everything is done gone bad, now you want the herbs to try to get you out of hell. No, you got to constantly be nourishing your body with herbs, depending on whatever you're dealing with, or just overall immunity, health, all those things. You keep up with it, you have a better chance of staying clear of a lot of the things that's out there. Uh, Continuing on verse 5, it says, "Well, not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known." So, you got the herbs, you got the woods, making teas and stuff like that, man. The water being made sweet with the wood, all different type of things, man, that the Most High said that he can utilize for healing. But the main thing, what did he say? Verse 10, "Leave off from sin and order thy hands aright and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness." That's got to be the first thing, right? Seeking the Most High, man. Dropping down to verse 10, it says, "Then give place to the physician, for the Lord created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him." And the original physicians, man, was the Levites and the priests. They were the ones that apothecaries. They knew how to mix up particular potions, man. In the law of Numbers 5, it tell you about if a man suspected his wife of having, committing adultery. She had to go take him to the priest. She said to take off the veil from her, pray over her, mix up the little concoction. If she drank it and her thigh started to deteriorate and rot, she was guilty. For belly swelled, I believe it says she was not guilty or something like that. But Numbers 5, y'all can read about that. But these are the type of things, man, that we have to stand close to. Because you leave it to the white man, he's saying everything's gonna jack us up, man. He ain't made nothing good. Dangerous out there, man. So that's gonna do it for today's episode, man, of DSTM, man. Episode 232. 232, man. Kohath, that's what we call him now, man. He's Glitch. Mitch the Glitch Mcconnell, that's it, man. He stamped, just like Slow Biden. We ain't let him buy no more. All right. So all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, man. We got closing Sabbath class coming up, man. Elder Rashaf is back, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man. My brother was going through a serious battle with an illness, and the Most High brought him back full health, full and healthy and restored. So all praises, man. He'll be back teaching. Closing Sabbath is today, 4:00. Lord willing, man, y'all can come check it out. If not, catch it later. But either way, appreciate all of y'all support, man. A couple of announcements to make sure everybody is aware of and is staying keen of. Let me see if I can pull this up. Give me 1 second. I'll make sure everybody, if you are if you're following our calendar, we do have very important and a very busy feast week coming up. Feast month coming up. Okay. If you're following our calendar, very important feast month coming up. Hopefully that's showing okay. Let me make sure. If not, I will reduce myself because it's dark. I don't want to, miss out. Everybody can see that, hopefully. The 7th month, blowing the trumpets, Feast of Ingathering, was coming up September 14th at sundown. That is a Thursday. That will carry over into the weekly Sabbath, which is that Friday at sundown, right? Which means you will have back-to-back Sabbaths. Your preparations for the Sabbath needs to be completed and done by Thursday. By Thursday, the 14th, before the sun goes down. So remember, you're prepping for 2 days because there's no buying, selling, or work should be done. Memorial blowing the trumpets is a Thursday, leading into Friday, leading into that weekly Sabbath, the 7-day Sabbath. All right. So 14th, double Sabbath. Make sure you prepare accordingly. Now we also have the Day of Atonement. Very important day as well. That's the day that the Lord gives us an opportunity to atone for our transgression, sins, future, past, present. The Lord gives us a chance of renewal through atonement, 24-hour fast, no food or drink from September 23rd, ending on the 24th. Now, that is a Saturday evening. Saturday the 23rd at even will be the memorial blowing of trumpet. Shalaki is the Day of Atonement. That also will show a back-to-back Sabbath. Remember, you got the Friday to Saturday, 7th day, and then immediately Saturday night, that evening begins the Day of Atonement. So make sure if you work on Sundays, if you work Saturday nights, that day needs to be taken off. You are to afflict your souls. We are to afflict our souls through atoning and fasting. Okay. So your preparations for that weekend, our preparation for that weekend should be Friday at sundown. Nothing is to be done as far as buying, selling, working, and so forth until Sunday sundown when the fast is over. So that's a double or a back-to-back Sabbath as well. Feast of Tabernacles begins September 28th. And the link to the calendar is in the description. You can always get it if you haven't done it, if you haven't gotten it. Yoel, you don't have to buy the calendar, my brother. It's in the description box of the video. There's a link on there. Click on it. You'll have the calendar. It's just like this. Okay. With all the dates. I don't have it on a monthly calendar by date. It's just the dates. But you can, purchase or get a calendar and fill in the dates accordingly. That'll help you out to stay abreast of what's going on. But continuing on, the Feast of Tabernacles begins on the 28th of September. That also was a Thursday, which is a Sabbath. Then you again go into the weekly Sabbath on Friday. That's another Sabbath. So back-to-back Sabbaths from the first day of Tabernacles leading into the weekly Sabbath, back-to-back. Make sure you're prepared. Thursday at sundown is the first day that you need to we need to all be dwelling in tents or dwelling in booths, so to speak. Okay, so all your preparations for that needs to be completed by sundown on the 23rd. That carries over all the way into the last day of Tabernacles, which is October 5th, which is a Thursday. So again, Thursday to Saturday, that's the back-to-back Sabbath. The last day, which is the Sabbath on Tabernacles, leading into Friday, weekly Sabbath. The 8th day, that Thursday, October the 5th, you do not need to dwell in tents or dwell in booths that night. The 8th day, there you don't have to. 7 days, the scriptures say. We'll cover it later on if you're not familiar with the laws. But Feast of Tabernacles is a 7-day dwelling in booths or tents. Whether you're outside in your backyard, whether you're going on a camping trip, whether you got your own makeshift tent in your homes, you have to be in a separatized dwelling during that time. Okay. So just a heads up for those days, because outside of next weekend, every weekend after that will be a back-to-back Sabbath. So your preparation's got to be a little bit different. Okay. So just keep that in mind when you're looking to get prepared. Okay. Yoel, if you have any problems finding the link or whatnot, email me. The Covenant144@gmail.com. Covenant144@gmail.com. I'll be sure to send you the link for the calendar. All right. But if there's not any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and close up shop, man. Most High willing, man. See y'all at the closing Sabbath class, 4:00 Pacific time. If not, I'll catch you on the rebound, man. Y'all be well. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. And I'm going to get on out of here, man. Shabbat shalom.